Hello everyone and welcome to today's sessions. Last sessions we have already learned how to create a thread by extending the thread class. And today we will use the second approach to create a thread, and that is nothing but by implementing the runnable interface, right? And we already know that run method is the heart and soul of the thread. Now
So
you can
first,
see here that in my Eclipse I have created a thread demo 2 class where I have the main method, and this is under the same package that we use in our last day com.demo.thread. Okay, and in our last sessions we have created this thread demo class, and here we learn how to create a thread by extending the thread class. Okay, now today our aim is to create a thread. Instead of extending this thread, we will try to implement that class by runnable interface. Okay, so let me create a class here first. Let's say the thread class name class A. Instead of extending thread, we will use implementing or implements and runnable interface. Now your class start here and end here. Now you can see here, as it's a interface, I am getting a hint or warning here that I have to add the unimplemented method. And what is that unimplemented method? That is nothing but our run method. So let me double click here so you can see that the run method is coming here. So this is the heart and soul of any thread, right? We already learned in our last sessions. So once this run method is created here we can write our logic for this thread. Okay, so we will use the same logic. Let's say this is my first thread A, and here you can see in our last sessions for this thread A we have created or was created a iterations logic, right? So let's do the same iteration logic here. Okay, instead of make it a thread, so let make it normal A, because we giving the name is A. So I am in A class. Okay, you can write it something like this, and these iterations is then plus I. Okay, so similar way I can create another thread, right? So instead of A I have to use another class name, let's say B. But before that, let's use Control Shift O and F. Okay, now the indentations is ready. Now let's create another class. Let's say instead of A it's B. Okay, and the logic is same, so definitely we need the run method, and iterations logic is same. Instead of I am in A, make it I am in B. So let's create two thread instead of three like we did in our last sessions. So now our thread is ready. So process is same, only thing is that previous day or the last day what we did, we basically extend the thread class. Now what we are actually doing, we are simply implementing the runnable interface. Now the rest part is same. Here also we need the public void run method, here also we need public void run method. Now the main difference is that here in our last sessions, while instantiate this thread, we basically instantiate that class and simply use that instance name dot start method. But now check carefully here, our instantiations of this thread A and thread B is bit different. So what is that logic? So let's try to do that. So under this main method, let me remove this unwanted comment. Now here you have to first create an instance of A like the previous sessions. Okay, so let's create an instance. Let's say the instance is AINS is equal to new A. So this is my first thing I have to do. Similar way to create an instance of B, we have to create the same thing here. So this is for A, and now let me create the same thing for B. So once your instance is ready, let put the name like B instance. Okay, so once your instance is ready, last day what we did, so we simply use that instance and call the start method. But today's sessions we have to do one more step here. What we have to do, we have to create a thread instance here. So let's say for this a instance we need to initiate this thread. So what we have to do, we have to create an instance of thread class. Okay, so write thread and let make it instance, let's say ta, that is for thread a. Okay, is equal to new, and here we have to use argument constructor of this thread class. Okay, and what is the argument? Argument is nothing but the instance of this a class. Okay, so this is the extra step here we have to do first. Now once this is done, then again we have to use the start method, but that is not directly from the instance of the class, that should be from this instance. So ta dot start. Okay, so once you do that, that's mean your this thread is initiated from this main method. Okay, now same thing we have to create for this b. Okay, so it is not a, it should be b, I written it wrongly. Now I have created the instance of b here. Okay, similar way I have to now do the second step, that is nothing but create a instance of thread. Okay, make it, let's say tb is equal to new, and now again the thread. Okay, and under that this is a argument constructor, and which type of argument I have to put, the instance of b class. Okay, so once this is done, now using this tb instance we have to call the start method. Okay, so once you do this, so that's mean your thread a and thread b is initiated using this line. Okay, so you can see here the difference between previous sessions and today's sessions is that last day we create a thread by extending the thread class. Today we are creating the thread by implementing the runnable interface. Both that case, okay, we have to use the heart and soul run method. Okay, under that run method we write the logic, the same logic like we did in our previous class. And the main difference is that while initiating this thread, the step is bit different. Previous day we simply use the instance and the instance name dot start, but today we have to do another step, that is basically creating an instance of thread. And that while creating that instance of thread, we use the argument constructor of that thread, and under the argument we have to pass the instance of that class. Now using this thread instance we have to call the start method for both these thread. Okay, now once you do this, your step is done. Now if you try to run this demo2 class, let me double click and click the run method. So here you can see it says first it run all the a. Okay, then second it run all the v. So let me run it again. So let's check what's come in the second. In the second also run the same thing. Now in this run you can see my first thread is a, then 1 2 3 4 5 6 all are basically b, then again my a start here. Okay, so it depends on your run. Each run you will get hopefully different type of result, but ultimately you can understand that how these two threads jointly using the resource or jointly sharing the resource, right? So this is the concept of second approach of creating a thread class. Okay, so this way you can create thread. So what we learned till now, there are two approach of creating a thread. One is extending by thread class, another one implementing the runnable interface. So hope you understand how to create thread and you are more confident now to creating a threads.
I believe this video has helped you to understand about the topic. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, click on the bell notifications and select all so that you don't miss any video from this channel.